and Jack. Shouse, welcome to America's Dance 30.
What's up? Good to be here.
Now, the story of Love Tonight is so crazy. We're going to talk about the insane journey that song has come through, but congratulations on it going number one.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
A lot of times when I'm speaking with producers and vocalists, we learn that a lot of songs are written, 3 years prior to them actually being released. But Love Tonight was actually released 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's an unusual story, so I've heard, right?
How did it originally come together back in 2017?
Well, it's a long sort of journey that went on. But honestly, the song was sort of the first thing that Ed and I ever really worked on. Just in a little studio, just with, little keyboard and coming up with the hook. And then we were playing around, we built it. And honestly, the main inspiration for the big song was that huge We Are the World, experience of a moment. And we sort of tried to do a similar thing with lots of our friends in Melbourne. And, it was great. It was fun. It did its little Melbourne thing. And then, cut forward 4 years, and then here it is.
Yeah, let's fast forward to 2021 and it being number one. How does it happen with the rebirth with, remixes from the likes of David Guetta?
Yeah, that was one of the most surreal moments when we kind of realized it was all real. We just kept watching the streams going up and slowly, we had a couple 10,000 in Melbourne, 20,000 here and there. We thought they were pretty good numbers. But over the last few years, particularly over 2019, 2020, during when the pandemic was really setting in, we really started seeing those numbers spiking, and you can see why they call it going viral, because it really follows those kind of pandemic-like trajectories and stuff. And after a while, it just started to hit this exponential growth, and the label was calling us and being like, guys, this is getting serious. Next minute, we see David Guetta's posting it on Instagram. Next minute, he's done a remix. We've got it. Vintage Culture also is a part of great one, which I know is big in Florida as well. And now, we're getting like 2.5 million streams a day on average. And we just want to see, we don't know where this is going to take us, but it's just, man, we don't know. What a phenomenon, eh?
Yeah. So what is it like for an artist when you're sitting there watching something that you said was the first time, the first song that you guys really worked on back in 2017? Yeah. What's it like for an artist to see this all of a sudden exploding?
Look, it's beautiful, and it really, it affirms why we made it, this sort of big dance anthem with lots of our mates and lots of, a bit of a community vibe. And it's a huge, boost to our kind of reason for doing music. In the interim, we both kind of got jobs. I'm a primary school teacher. Ed works in community arts. And it's, but it's this thing, it brings us back. It's like what music is, good for. It's bringing us back.
The most exciting thing I think really of seeing this explode is all these friends we recorded this with, just our best friends and contemporaries in a little warehouse in Brunswick and industrial suburb in Melbourne. It's just their voices, that you're hearing sing across the world, and they're going across crowds of tens of thousands of people. That's the most surreal thing, just hearing all our mates singing to the whole world.
Yeah, and I saw the video that you guys posted. I think it was of Guetta dropping it at a festival and seeing tens of thousands of people singing it back.
And that's got to be the one aspect of it that's kind of makes it the weirdest, I guess, is that we haven't seen that. We've seen all these videos, but we're in Melbourne, we're locked down, in and out of lockdowns, and we're not, maybe we'll be able to travel around soon, but it's just been a kind of a virtual experience for us. It's gratifying, and it's a bit, it's also a bit kind of awkward almost.
And I'm not sure if you're familiar with 220 Kid, but I had spoken to 220 Kid a few months ago during the height of the pandemic, and he pretty much said the same thing when his song went number one. He's been locked down in his bedroom the entire time, and he's just watching it from lockdown like, what the heck is going on?
And particularly we're not allowed raves here in Australia at the moment. We're not allowed parties, and some pretty huge parties happening in Europe, and it's pretty surreal to see tens of thousands of people singing your song when you can't even have mates over for dinner. But what are you going to do? We'll still take it. And we do think maybe part of the reason the song, it's a song about love, connectedness, friendship, solidarity. Maybe part of the reason it connected is, the conditions of the pandemic. People needed those feelings, and they wanted to sing them together. And maybe it wouldn't have gone number one if it wasn't for the pandemic. Who knows?
Hey, everything happens for a reason. You just got to take it.
We take it. We'll take it. Yeah, we love it.
Now, be honest with me. As artists, when you're sitting there and this happens with your song, do you sit back and go, are you kidding me right now? Like, why did this take 4 years? What the heck?
You know what? We do, I think, but we also secretly, in the back of our minds, we knew it was a number one hit, as soon as we wrote it. So we're just like, it's about time, dude. Come on. Why did it take people so long to catch on?
Now, where does the name Shouse come from?
It's a funny story, and it's actually based on a bit of an Australian euphemism. I'm not sure if we can repeat it on syndicated radio here, but maybe people can Google it and look into it. It actually did originate from a thing called Safety House, which was a program in Australia, but we threw that name away and we came back with another one, ended up with Shouse. We don't actually know what it comes from. We don't really know what it means. We like to let people guess.
Yeah.
So what was the first name that you guys were going to go with?
There was a few iterations. There was Chautauqua.
Chautauqua.
Yeah, which was a long backstory. And I think we settled on Shouse as a, as it did sort of represent what we were making at the time, which was house music, but it wasn't great house music,
Yeah, it was raw.
And we've since improved, I think.
Well, let's talk about house music really quick, because we've got all kinds of subgenres of house music. I mean, we've got deep house, we've got funky house, progressive, slap, tech, future, and now with Shouse, we've got Weirdo House.
Yeah.
Please define that for us.
Oh, you know what? I think where that came from was us being pretty naive at dance music and just we could probably barely tell one genre from another, to be honest. And we just kind of got a drum machine, got some synthesizers. And when at the time in particular, when we started making music, we were not particularly educated about the history of dance music and house music. And, we're pretty naive. And since then, we've kind of been educating ourselves and coming a lot further, I think. But, we kind of call it Weirdo House because we think it sounds a bit weird. That's just what we mean.
Yeah, we felt a little bit like weirdos in the scene as well. Honestly, it's a bunch of weirdos in our little Melbourne scene.
Yeah.
But, and we came from slightly, different backgrounds. I've been in bands and, Ed's come from different sort of bands that are sort of in that just a weird space that sort of, it is. Sometimes you don't know what to define yourself as, and then you got to define yourself. So
Weirdo House is born. Now, how did you guys come together?
We met in a nightclub in Melbourne. Yeah, just at a rave, basically. Through the smoke, as they say, through the smoke machine. Melbourne, I guess, obviously shut down during the pandemic, but had a pretty great underground kind of party scene for a while there, and a few clubs where anything went. Popping up around the city, and this was in particular one of those clubs that had just opened up. 24 Moons, a former strip club, turned into a nightclub, and we just met across the smoke and had an amazing night together. And we're just like, let's make music, man. And those chats happen a lot. But the next week, we're in the studio writing Love Tonight. And we're not joking when we said it's the first song we ever wrote. So there's something in that.
That is so amazing. Well, congratulations on Love Tonight going number one, the biggest dance song in the country on America's Dance 30. Congratulations to you guys.
Mick, thank you for having us. It's our pleasure. So thank you, America. We love you.
So I know that you can't really predict, obviously, with everything going on, but what's next for Shouse?
We're in and out of lockdowns, but we're deep in the bunker. The Weirdo House is building, is pulsing higher and higher.
Yeah.
I think we'll have some more stuff.
We've been out at Jack's country shack out by a dam and it kind of in the bush in Western Victoria, and we've been making lots of weird tunes and maybe even Weirdo House, you know. But Jack's dad invented a lot of instruments that are totally unique and don't exist anywhere else in the world, and we've been sampling them, recording a lot of them, playing around with different acoustic techniques and writing new tracks. So we're making new tracks. We want to come and play them to people. We want to do special, weird, big gigs with big choirs. Yeah. But, you know, we're locked in.
Hopefully everything will be opening up enough for you guys to be doing huge festivals and huge shows. And if you haven't done Weirdo House merch yet, that better be coming soon.
That's a good tip, man. We'll tell our managers that one.
You're welcome. Yeah. Ed, Jack, Shouse, congratulations. It's awesome meeting you guys.
All right. Pleasure, mate. Thank you for having us.